Ever thought you'd already braved Hollywood's deepest cinematic trenches? Think again, fearless viewers. Roger Ebert confronted 15 disasters so spectacularly misguided they deserve their own monument in the Hall of Shame. Tonight, on Golden Age Classics, we plunge headfirst into celluloid calamities he ignited with zero and half-star fury. Buckle up, hit subscribe, and brace yourself. This odyssey of flops starts now. Grab your popcorn and air sickness bag. North, 1994. Imagine a globe-trotting fairy tale that should feel like Home Alone meets Around the World in 80 days, but instead plays like an airline safety video directed by an exhausted Easter bunny. Young Elijah Wood stars as North, a kid genius who divorces his inattentive parents and auditions replacements in Paris, Texas, and even the Arctic. The supporting cast reads like a charity telethon. Bruce Willis, Jason Alexander, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Dan Aykroyd, Kathy Bates. Yet every cameo lands with the thud of a dropped fruitcake. Rob Reiner, once hailed for the razor-sharp The Princess Bride and A Few Good Men, found himself drowning in studio notes that demanded the story be softer, sweeter, safer. Translation, toothless. Ebert's legendary line, "I hated this movie," wasn't hyperbole. The plot treats global cultures like disposable punchlines. Texans ride pigs, Hawaiians hula in boardrooms, Eskimos swap babies like Pokemon cards. The film cost a hefty $40 million, built entire faux international airports on Los Angeles sound stages, and still looks cheaper than a mall photo booth. Test screenings reportedly tanked so hard that Reiner ordered an emergency rescore. Composer Mark Shaman quietly replaced whimsical strings with even more whimsical kazoos. Box office take, barely $7 million domestic, not enough to pay for Bruce Willis's carrot-colored bunny suit dry cleaning. Fun fact, a deleted ending, North wakes from a dream and hugs his parents, was reinstated at the 11th hour, yet audiences still booed. So why watch? Because few films demonstrate that even A-list talent can misjudge tone so catastrophically it becomes a case study in hubris. Caligula, Tu et sembilan ratus de lapenpulu. Take one classical tragedy, add Penthouse publisher Bob Guccione's libido, shake vigorously, and you get cinema's most notorious toga party. Malcolm McDowell slithers through marble halls as the mad young emperor, delivering Shakespearean monologues sandwiched between acts of equestrian indecency. Director Tinto Brass envisioned a political satire about absolute power. Guccione envisioned, well, Penthouse with better drapery. The budget ballooned to a staggering $17 million, extravagant for 1980, and included shipping 360,000 pounds of Sardinian marble into Cinecittà Studios. When financiers balked, Guccione reportedly mortgaged 2 Manhattan penthouses, then filmed unsimulated scenes in clandestine night shoots, locking the crew out of the soundstage. Ebert fled the premiere after 2 hours, labeling it a moral swamp and the emperor's new pornography. Helen Mirren confided years later that she signed on for political provocation, not a gladiator-themed lust fest. Peter O'Toole spent most takes gleefully ad-libbing insults at the decor. Legend says a lighting rig collapsed during an orgy montage, causing extras, naked save for gold body paint, to scatter like terrified gazelles. Despite bans in Canada and Italy, the scandal made money. College campuses traded bootlegs like holy relics, and European art theaters mounted uncut midnight marathons. Guccione crowed, critics can't kill what audiences desire, yet the unrated cut left performers suing for breach of contract. Watch it today and marvel at lavish sets fighting a losing battle against sleaze, like a Versailles ball invaded by frat boys. Battlefield Earth, 2000. John Travolta spent a decade nurturing this adaptation of L. Ron Hubbard's 1,000-page space opera, convinced it would launch a multimedia franchise. Instead, it nosedived nose first into the cult flop Hall of Fame. Travolta's 9-foot alien Turtle Rock's rubber forehead ridges, predator dreadlocks, and platform boots taller than Tom Cruise. Director Roger Christian, once an Oscar-winning art director, shot nearly every scene with a tilted camera, reportedly to keep audiences off balance. Mission accomplished. Viewers staggered out seasick. The $73 million production tapped Canadian tax shelters and an equity pool tied to the now bankrupt Franchise Pictures. Courtroom depositions later revealed creative bookkeeping inflated budgets to swindle investors. Ebert mused it felt like taking a bus trip with someone who hasn't bathed. Behind the latex, extras sweated inside 35-pound helmets that trapped exhaled CO2, forcing medics to administer oxygen between takes. Cinematographers used green filters to hide half-finished matte paintings, but the result makes every set resemble an algae bloom. Box office? $29 million domestic, about what The Phantom Menace made before lunch. Travolta defended the film, claiming it was for kids. Kids responded by buying tickets to Gladiator instead. Rumor, the climactic blast was simulated with 70 barrels of gasoline. The resulting fireball singed eyebrows 2 blocks away and triggered Montreal noise ordinance fines. Yet, there's perverse joy in its earnestness. Dialogue like rat brain man animal, delivered with Shakespearean gusto. Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo, 2005. Rob Schneider's sequel packs its suitcase full of anatomical punchlines and flies to Amsterdam, where, apparently, every canal hides a euphemism. Schneider's man whore now hunts a serial killer targeting fellow gigolos because audiences demanded a murder mystery with their flatulence gags. The film's $22 million budget went to scenic locations, prosthetic appendages, and fines. After locals complained, the crew kept blocking bike lanes with inflatable phalli. Critic Patrick Goldstein joked, Schneider lacked Oscar credentials. Schneider fired back with a full-page Variety ad, prompting Ebert's kill shot. Your movie sucks. Financially, it doubled its cost worldwide, yet still felt like watching a stand-up routine where the mic keeps shorting out. Insider tidbits. Producers ordered a prosthetic nose for Schneider, so enormous the makeup chair had its own call time. Charles Dance, channeling 007 Menace, gamely licks a brothel window. Legend claims he recited Shakespeare between takes to cleanse his soul. The Amsterdam City Council slapped production with noise violations when Schneider's high-decibel "Kiss My Man-Whore Butt" echoed off historic facades at 2 a.m. Test audiences allegedly preferred outtakes to the finished film. So, the DVD includes 40 minutes of bloopers that may actually be funnier than the feature. Yet, there's a bizarre equality message buried beneath the sleaze. Love the person, not just their detachable, Mad Dog time. 1996. Writer-director Larry Bishop, son of rat packer Joey Bishop, dreamed of a stylized mob fantasia bathed in neon jazz. What emerged feels like Tarantino karaoke in a dive bar at 4 a.m. Richard Dreyfuss saunters as crime boss Vic, returning from a psychiatric clinic to find his empire run by Jeff Goldblum's lounge lizard lieutenant. Dialogue ricochets between Zen koans and dad jokes. I'm so angry, my teeth itch. Bishop allegedly rewrote scenes nightly after poker games, delivering fresh pages moments before action. The $8 million production rented an abandoned Hawthorne nightclub, repainting it every week to stand in for new sets. Fumes made actors woozy and continuity impossible. Ebert confessed he'd never seen a film where even bad dialogue would be an improvement. Grossing a microscopic $108,000, it vanished from theaters faster than a snitch. Behind the curtain, Burt Reynolds fired real blanks close enough to scorch Dreyfuss's jacket sleeve. Insurance reps almost shut the movie down. Goldblum tickled Ivory between takes, slipping phrases from Rhapsody in Blue into gunfight cues. Some remain in the soundtrack because the composer quit mid-schedule. Legend says Bishop told cinematographer Robbie Greenberg, "Make every frame look like a painting," but budget limitations reduced that dream to colored gels and smoke machines. Dirty Love, 2005. Jenny McCarthy's triple-threat vanity project aims to explode the rom-com blueprint with bodily fluid pyrotechnics, and succeeds only in detonating audience goodwill. McCarthy plays Rebecca, a heartbroken fashion shutterbug who spirals into revenge antics involving menstrual waterfalls, projectile vomit, and a supermarket slip and slide across spoiled dairy. Shot for $6 million over 27 whirlwind days, the film earned less than $40,000, becoming a line-item cautionary tale in indie financing seminars. Ebert blasted it as a plumbing system regurgitating sewer gas. Trivia Buffett: the vomit was 90% split pea soup and 10% half and half, warmed for better splatter. Supermarket chains first welcomed production for PR, until curdled milk seeped under shelves, rotting overnight. Crews paid overtime to sanitize. Carmen Electra's scene required her to riff non-stop insults in a dumpster. Director John Asher fed lines through an earpiece until her corset popped. Rumor says post-production discovered boom mics visible in 22 shots. They digitally painted them into floating pickles for comedic effect. Yet McCarthy's fearless commitment is weirdly admirable. She endures faceplants, tampon lassos, and dating spoof montages featuring guys in hazmat suits. The soundtrack blends pop-punk with circus calliope, underscoring the carnival of cringe. Speed 2. Cruise Control, 1997. Lightning struck with 1994's runaway bus thriller. So why not trap Sandra Bullock on a luxury liner, moving slower than your grandma's Wi-Fi? Director Jan de Bont leveled up from $30 million to a Titanic-sized $110 to $160 million, buying a decommissioned tanker just to crash it into a Caribbean-set village built on stilts. That glorious smash cost $25 million alone, and nearly flattened real shops when hydraulic brakes failed. Jason Patric steps in for Keanu, playing a SWAT diver who can hold his breath longer than the movie holds tension. Willem Dafoe steals scenes and infected leeches, using them as quirky therapy. To create Speed, de Bont filmed actors sprinting on treadmills while wind machines roared, yet the ocean shots crawl at a majestic 15 miles per hour. Ebert noted, "I started looking at my watch, then wished I had a calendar. At the worldwide box office, it floated to $164 million. Respectable, but marketing overspent another $50 million, leaving Disney execs scrambling. Production headaches. 9 crew hospitalized after heat stroke in engine room sets reaching 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Bullock's contract insisted on a $12 million payday and new Porsche. She later joked it was the only upside. Fun cameo, reggae singer Temuera Morrison croons, "Nowhere Fast," ironically predicting the film's pace. Freddy Got Fingered, 2001. Tom Green unleashed his MTV anarchist persona onto a bewildered Fox studio and birthed a movie that's equal parts dadist prank and endurance test. Aspiring animator Gord Brody moves back home, tortures his uptight dad, and straps sausage strings to ceilings while chanting, "Daddy, would you like some sausage?" Budgeted at $14 million, it grossed nearly the same, yet melted critical consensus. Ebert awarded half a star, saying, "This movie doesn't scrape the bottom of the barrel. It isn't the barrel." Green demanded practical gags. Elephant insemination used 120 gallons of tapioca. The hospital birth rope jump employed a 12-foot animatronic umbilical cord. Execs threatened cuts, so Green shot extra shock moments. Studio heads relented, exhausted. At Sundance midnight showings, viewers flung processed meat. Organizers banned deli items thereafter. Crew anecdotes: catering refused to serve mayonnaise for fear Green would weaponize it. Yet amidst the chaos lies surreal sincerity. Gord funds his girlfriend's rocket wheelchair dream, culminating in a bizarrely touching launch sequence scored by the Phoenix Symphony. Was Green trolling or trailblazing? The Love Guru, 2008. Mike Myers vanished after Shrek, then re-emerged wrapped in prayer beads and double entendres. Guru Pitka, raised in ashram self-help cliches, must save a star Toronto Maple Leafs player from marriage woes so the team can win the Stanley Cup. Budget $62 million, worldwide gross $40 million. Ouch. Jessica Alba skates by grinning. Justin Timberlake sports a Montreal goalie mullet and boasts a not-so-holy Le Croque-Mon Dong. Verne Troyer endures height gags as Coach Cherkov. Ebert sighed, it violated the law of funny names, and wondered if laughter had left the building. Behind the scenes, 3,000 extras chilled inside the Air Canada Centre for 12-hour days. Production pumped in maple scent to mask stale nachos, resulting in sticky seats. Myers, an improv obsessive, forced daily rehearsals dubbed My Namaste, where the cast chanted, Mariska Hargitay, as a comedic mantra. Yes, the actress even cameoed. Kingsley cross-eyed stunts led to motion sickness among camera ops. Marketing mailed yoga mats shaped like male anatomy to radio stations. Many were, returned. Yet, there's a bizarre earnestness. Myers sneaks in messages on self-worth and letting go. Did audiences catch it? Probably not through the midget hockey fights. The Brown Bunny, 2003. Vincent Gallo's minimalist odyssey follows motorcycle racer Bud Clay across desolate American highways as he mourns lost love, Daisy, Chloe Sevigny. The original 118-minute can cut featured excruciatingly long shots of gas stations, windshield bug splats, and Gallo sobbing in silence. Ebert's zero-star review ignited a feud. Gallo retaliated with a fat pig curse, to which Ebert quipped, "I will one day be thin, but Gallo will always be the director of the Brown Bunny." Gallo shaved 25 minutes, earning Ebert's forgiveness, but box office remained a paltry $500,000 on a $10 million spend. Production tales read like artisan anguish. Gallo performed his own focus pulling on 16mm, ruining reels but embracing organic blur. He personally drove the Kawasaki cross-country, refusing transport trucks, causing schedule slips when rainstorms soaked film stock. Sound mixer quit after Gallo insisted on recording genuine highway wind inside the cab, resulting in dialogue drowned at 90 decibels. The infamous unsimulated oral sex scene required one take. Sevigny later said the choice was brave, not pornographic, though audiences debated fiercely. Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, 2009. Michael Bay's Robo-sequel operates like a 2.5-hour demolition derby, scored by a blender full of Linkin Park riffs. Shia LaBeouf attends Robot College, Megan Fox smolders atop Ducati, and Optimus Prime sprinkles knightly wisdom before dying, resurrecting, and punching a pyramid. Writers' strike chaos left Bay storyboarding action first, then cramming connective plot tissue during lunch breaks. Industrial Light and Magic rendered 46 new Autobots Decepticons, making battles an incomprehensible tangle of scrap metal. Yet the spectacle raked in $836 million worldwide on a $200 million budget. Proof blowing things up transcends subtitles. Ebert's half-star lament compared it to banging pots while aliens scream in your kitchen. On set, real F-16 buzzed the crew at 400 miles per hour. The sonic boom cracked 11 car windshields. LaBeouf's real car crash mid-shoot required his hand cast to be CGI painted into scenes. Meanwhile, Devastator's wrecking ball testicles drew Pentagon ire when soldiers felt disrespected. Bay reportedly laughed, "Lighten up, it's just robot balls." The Last Airbender, 2010. Beloved Nickelodeon anime becomes a 103-minute exposition dump, where names are mispronounced and elements bend at the speed of continental drift. M. Night Shyamalan condensed Book 1, 20 episodes, into stone-faced tableau, narrated by Katara like a hostage reading demands. Shot in 2D, post-converted to murky 3D, fight scenes lose depth and color. Budget $150 million, worldwide haul $319 million, yet fan goodwill dissolved like ice in Ba Sing Se. Ebert's one-star review labeled it agonizing in every category. Casting controversy erupted over white actors playing Inuit-coded heroes. Reshoots attempted token diversity, ballooning costs by $5 million. Crew bundled in parkas inside an abandoned steel mill, chilled to 40 degrees Fahrenheit to capture authentic breath. ILM's water simulations backlogged render farms so badly they shipped drives cross-country via FedEx weekly. The 3D conversion contracted last minute to a bargain outfit, resulting in blurry spears stabbing your retinas. Beloved Nickelodeon anime becomes a 103-minute exposition dump, where names are mispronounced and elements bend at the speed of continental drift. M. Night Shyamalan condensed Book 1, 20 episodes of political intrigue, spiritual quests, and Zuko's redemption arc, into a slideshow of stilted dialogue and glacial pacing. Katara's narration, stripped of the animated series' warmth, Drones like an AI trained on Wikipedia summaries. Action sequences, once balletic in their martial artistry, now unfold with the urgency of a sloth practicing Tai Chi. Shyamalan shot the film flat in 2D, then panic-soldered a 3D conversion in post, leaching color and depth until firebenders hurled pixelated soup and water whips resembled melted plastic. Budget $150 million. Worldwide haul $319 million. Yet, fan goodwill dissolved like ice in Ba Sing Se. The math worked, barely, but the cost was spiritual. Ebert's one-star review labeled it agonizing in every category, while CinemaScore audiences graded it a death rattle C+. Casting controversy erupted when Shyamalan stuffed Inuit-coded heroes into whiteface. Aang, Noah Ringer, a bald Texan preteen, Sokka, Jackson Rathbone, a pale heartthrob chewing scenery like gum. Protests flared, studios panicked, and $5 million burned on reshoots to sprinkle extras of color in the background. A diversity garnish on a colonizer's feast. Crew bundled in parkas inside an abandoned Pennsylvania steel mill, refrigerated to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, all to capture authentic breath in the Southern Water Tribe's Arctic wasteland. Actors shivered through takes, their frostbitten line reads dubbed later in cozy ADR booths. ILM's water simulations, tasked with animating tidal waves with PlayStation 2-era processing power, choked render farms into submission. Desperate engineers FedExed hard drives overnight from San Francisco to New Jersey, a digital relay race lost before it began. Post-premiere, the fandom staged a mass exodus. Shyamalan's career entered witness protection until Split, while Paramount buried the sequels in an unmarked grave. The Master of Disguise, 2002. Dana Carvey emerges from post-SNL retirement, cloaked in latex, wigs, and puns that wilt on impact. Pistachio Disguisey belongs to a hereditary clan of disguise masters. Think Bond gadgets meet children's party clowns. Scripted in 6 weeks to meet a family film window, jokes revolve around flatulence, celebrity impressions, and the infamous Turtle Club scene. Budget $16 million, gross $43 million. But critical fallout flattened Carvey's momentum. Ebert sighed that kids laugh only because they're too young to know better. The 9/11 backstory, crew filmed Turtle Club on that morning. After news broke, they paused to pray, then finished the scene, casting an eerie pall of history over feather bows and green shell suits. Carvey's prosthetics required 3 a.m. call times. Fumes caused migraines, limiting takes to 5 minutes. Villain Brent Spiner breaks into uncontrolled fart laughter every time someone says giggle. Producer Adam Sandler cameoed as the voice of a talking parrot, later uncredited. Studio research showed children loved Carvey's impressions, but adults squirmed, resulting in trailers marketing it as from the producers of Big Daddy, hoping brand recognition would lure parents. Spice World, 1997. Part concert film, part Candy Floss Fever Dream. Spice World crams aliens, paparazzi, and a flipbook of outfits into 93 sunshine-soaked minutes. Budgeted at $25 million, it snowballed into a merchandising juggernaut. Dolls, bedspreads, even official spice water. Plot: the girls must reach the Royal Albert Hall concert while dodging tabloid hacks and a too-serious documentary filmmaker. Ebert's half-star verdict likened it to 98 minutes of commercial breaks. Production chaos, schedules juggled around Spice brand tours, meaning scenes were shot out of sequence using body doubles and wide shots. Eagle-eyed fans spot cowboy boot-wearing stand-ins. Bob Spear directed music videos, fast jump cuts, Dutch angles, fisheye lenses, leaving first-time viewers dizzy. Roger Moore spoofs Bond, stroking white rabbits while dispensing cones. Without the spice, the meal falls flat. Meatloaf, playing tour bus driver, ad-libs. "I would do anything for those girls, but I won't do that," when asked to fix the toilet. Real fans mobbed sets, causing security to double as background extras. Continuity be damned, the double-decker bus jumps Tower Bridge courtesy of 1990s CGI so janky it might as well hang on wires. Yet its day-glow positivity remains infectious. Girl power, chants still echo at karaoke bars. Bolero, Nitten Fire. Bo Derek, fresh off 10, reunites with husband-director John Derek to craft an erotic adventure about 1920s heiress Eyre Mac McGillivray, searching for the perfect first lover. Locations shift from British boarding school to Andalusian bull rings to Arabian deserts and gauzy slow motion. Dialogue's sparse, so we get endless soft-focus shots of Bo riding horses, soaking in milk baths, or twirling scarves in the desert wind. Budgeted at $7 million, it stumbled to a $9 million domestic gross, but only after going unrated. Major chains refused, relegating it to grindhouse circuits. Ebert scoffed that honey-licking posed mucus texture risks. Production trials. Saharan sand jammed Panavision cameras, forcing cinematographer Greg Fraser, then assistant, to hand-crank focus. Camels borrowed from a local zoo refused to kneel, delaying golden hour shots until Bo bribed them with dates. A bull named Gitano gored a stunt double's shield, halting filming 2 weeks while insurers panicked. Behind the velvet curtain, John Derek insisted on closed sets, meaning electricians ate sandwiches while Bo filmed intimate scenes. Crew nicknamed the shoot Café au lait and Voyeur Buffet. Composers who layered Ravel's Bolero across the climax discovered the song's rights expired mid-edit. Producers paid emergency fees, nearly doubling the music budget. Ultimately, the film endures as a kitsch time capsule, soft jazz sax, chiffon scarves, and wind machines cranked to hurricane force. And that, fearless film foragers, concludes our epic stroll through 15 glorious misfires Roger Ebert scorched with literary napalm. From bunny-suited Bruce Willis to marble-drenched Roman orgies, we've witnessed every flavor of cinematic calamity and lived to laugh about it. Which disaster seared your retinas most? Confess below. Our comment section doubles as group therapy. If this gauntlet made you giggle, groan, or gasp, pulverize that like, obliterate subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our next expedition into forgotten noirs, stop-motion gems, and cult oddities aching for rediscovery. Share this video with friends who brag they've seen it all, then watch their jaws drop. Until next time, keep watching, keep questioning, and remember, even flops make cinema history.